You are here at the Mayflower Tarot. And we are here for another pick a card reading about adding light into your life. Okay, so today we have some crystals and we also have some major arcana to choose from. So feel free to take a few deep breaths, take the time that you need to tune into this. I feel like this might be a heavy reading for some of you, for others a little more light. Either way, I feel like the theme of this is going to be clearing blockages to light. And then I do really want to take some time at the end of your reading, because I feel like how they're going to go, this is just kind of what I'm picking up on. It might not end up this way, but we're going to go through little blockages of love, and then I want to focus a little bit on what makes you happy, what adds light into your life, what satisfies you, fulfills you, and how to bring that into your life. So yeah, take your time, and I will see you at your reading. Timestamps are down below, and I'll see you soon. Hello, pile ones. You have the Hermit here as your card. What's really standing out to me right now is this. The darkness might really feel enveloping here for you. There's also this horizon, though. There might be some good you may not be seeing, or some good on the horizon you might not be seeing yet. We'll get into it. So, let me tap in a little bit to your highest vibrational angels, ancestors. I really felt called to connect with the entirety of your spirit teams and not just one entity. I kept going back and forth. Higher self, spirit. I was kind of getting, we're just going to talk to everyone. We're going to get everyone's perspective here. Everyone that's in your highest and greatest good and the greatest good of all, and only information that's in the highest light, highest resonance, and the highest resonance for all. Alright. They're telling me to get some cards, so we're gonna get some cards for you. Group 1, what's going on? What is going on in your life? How are you feeling? Where are you at? Activated Earth. Interesting. I'm feeling like, oh, I didn't even say it. This is like your freaking group. I hope you know. I put it in the timestamp. I put it in the little intro after. Sorry, my bad. I think that a lot of like 3D stuff is going on. This is how it feels. I feel like right now you might feel like you're a 3D being. Or, okay, you're like a 6, 7, 8, 9 being in that 3D world. So I'm picking up on is that how you might feel, and you're like, what is this earth stuff I'm going on? Why am I paying bills right now? Why am I paying taxes? Why am I in this shitty ass relationship? And in Star Family, exactly. I feel like that's how you feel. You're like, can I just go back to the stars right now? Can I just like get away from this? Why am I doing this? Why am I here? I feel like you might feel alone too with this. I'm really feeling some sadness coming up. Yeah, perspective. Whoa. You are like, this is how I feel right now. There's again this idea, as I was picking up on this, like, you know, this is your light, and this is how you're seeing the whole universe around you, how you're seeing Earth as like this blackness that surrounds you. And you're like, I want to go back to the expansiveness, you know, like the brightness where it just like we resonated everywhere with it. I feel like again, like I was picking up on this with this card too, like you could feel like you're in the middle of this. Like you're like, I am transported so much out of here, and like I don't really want to leave this garden. I don't want to leave my meditative state. Like, just want to stay in that. Where is... I'm not really reading right now with this, like, particularly what the activations are. I'm not really feeling called to. So if you ever want to pause the video and kind of read them or look up the cards yourself and see what they say at the bottom, feel free to do so. I just don't really feel called to expand on them. I don't feel like that's the point of this reading. Star ancestors again. I feel like you might be astral projecting and talking to different entities or something. That's kind of what's coming through. Kind of like you're like, I have this nuggets of wisdom, and it is like much deeper and much higher than like this earthly plane. All right, one more. Where's pile number 1 at? I think with star ancestors too, like right above star family, you may, okay, take it if it resonates. If you already know, or your intuition has kind of already been telling you this, you might be one of the first in your ancestors to incarnate here. It's a very interesting message that's coming through. Oh my gosh, I'm just picking up these cards, hold on. Okay, picking up cards. I really hesitate to say this because this isn't really my forte or what I usually pick up on. So take it if it resonates. If this has been told to you or you just really feel this, like, you take it as it means for you, okay? And if not, leave it. So, kind of what I'm feeling here is that you might be the first entity soul in your ancestor line to incarnate on Earth. Like, your ancestors may have incarnated in different planes of existence and different heavier planes. 2D. And what's coming to my mind right now is there's like a plane of existence that's like Earth, but it's more like paradise and manifest, snap what you want. It's kind of there. It's not as deep though as this experience. And so you might be the first of your ancestor line to really incarnate on Earth, or you might be the first in your ancestral line to really awaken and realize that. I think this is what's for most of you. The first one is just if you already knew. You're the first one in your family to realize that this life can be good and that there's more to this and that you can experience like happiness and joy and like anchor light into you. I don't really feel like others in your family have gotten there. I'm talking about like way back. Like I'm talking about, you know, I'm really getting some images of like colonial times in the United States. You know, this reading is timeless and the location can be anywhere, so it might be when your ancestors colonized a place, or it might be this feels like colonizer vibes, I'm sorry y'all. If you're indigenous or you know like the history of your country, this reading can still be for you. It's just that's really kind of what it's feeling like, is that your ancestor line is heavy. That if they're colonizers, that they might have caused like a lot of death, a lot of destruction here. That they were kind of focused on like what the church was telling them or something. You feel might be very religious. I think you're really the first to break away from this and be like, all of my family are really these badass star bitches. And I'm the first one to break away. Alright, one more for where is pile 1 at right now? Cracked open. Oof. Rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. I'm really feeling like you, in general, And then you got the love. You do. I feel like you are just cracked open to this different... I think how you feel is that you are cracked open in a way that you just can't close off again. And I think a part of you might want to. You're like, I just kind of want to, like, close this off. Kind of go back to, like, being asleep. Or, like, not understanding that this is, like, the reality that I've lived in or that I can live in. I feel like you're feeling more and more open, like you're unblocking more and more blockages to light. And that's where you're at. Great. I don't remember if I said this, so if I said it, I'm going to say it again, that these readings are going to be a little bit unstructured in terms of the decks that I'm using. I just really felt called to do that. We're actually gonna go to the ocean because I really feel like for your pile, this is deep. Okay. I'm feeling like I want to go a little bit more into your experience here, how you're viewing the world. So these are the Ocean Dreams Oracle, right? Ocean Dreams? Ocean Oracle? Danielle Noel. What's her name? Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, Danielle. Temple of the Sea. Maybe you were like up in the sky, astral projecting, and now you're like at Atlantis. Yo, where are you going, Pile One? What are you doing? What's Pile One's experience like? What are they really thinking about? Where are they really at? Divine Spiral. I feel like you kind of are in a spiral of divineness. You're like up there, down there, over here. I feel like you just see, though, like this glitteriness that comes with life. Like, you see how good it can be. I feel like you've gotten this when you have been meditating or when you have contacted your guides or some of the spirits, like, that they've told you, or you've gotten this idea that life here can be good. That we can experience so much good here. But that's not how you feel. That's not how this earth plane feels to you right now. Astral Waters. Ooh. I'm seeing here this duality of kind of what this outside world is and this portal here. I think that you are being called in this life to be more free, to be more happy, dance in the frickin' sunsets. Something's holding you back, though. The Temple of Light. Another temple. I feel like you've been to these places and you enjoy these energies. I don't really feel like they're anchored in you in the 3D. Because I feel like you go into these portals and these meditations, however you do it, projections, and you go to these places and it's almost like escapism. Like, it's like, I'm gonna go to this place, feel this great energy, come back and be sad. I almost feel like you're putting this on a pedestal. On this card specifically, it might not focus, but you can see there's a person here. And the Temple of Light is right there and it's big. And I feel like you put this kind of energy, put this on a pedestal, and you feel small. Again with the smallness. When you could feel big, like a part of it, like a part of the world. And then Dream Gate. Yeah, I feel like you kind of dream. You're a dreamer. Isn't that like a song or something? I'm not the only one. Wait, is that... am I just like mixing songs? Whatever. And then at the bottom of the deck we have Move with Ease. I'm not an artist, I'm a tarot reader. Social worker. Yeah. This to me almost feels a little bit though of balancing into, like, I feel like you dream about this like maybe when you're at school or at work, whatever. You're dreaming of going to these other realities and swimming in them and basking in them and loving it. I feel like this really is a source of comfort for you. I feel like you know there are other people that experience this on Earth. I just don't really feel like they're in your reality and you're like, ugh, I'm like the only one in my community, in my circles right now who feel like this. Okay, I want to go to tarot. Because I think where I want to go now with y'all is how you move through this. How this change happens, right? How do we start clearing these blockages of light and then anchoring in the experience that you want? And that can take time. This isn't like you do this this week and then all of a sudden next week you're like, oh my god, I anchor the temple of light into my reality. Usually not how it works. If it does for you, let me know how it happened, because I need to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Okay. How can pile 1... I'm not going to take it because I didn't finish the question. How can pile 1 start clearing away, changing their reality, clearing these blockages stuff? Changing your reality is kind of coming up for me here. No? 2 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, I feel like this is your face. You're like, what is this? Okay, well, this choice doesn't feel really good. That choice doesn't feel good either. Neither of these feel like the Temple of Light. I'm so sorry. This face just kind of gets to me. Like, I'm picturing like it's like a meme and you're like, Argh. 3 of Cups in reverse. Okay, there's this idea that nothing can be as good as like these meditations that you are experiencing. Like, connections in this are just not going to be as good. I'm not trying to sigh at you or at your experience. I'm just kind of moving it through. But it's just going to contribute to, like, there's just like a lot of demonizing of 3D reality that it just can't be good. That the human race is like, ew. We're just not... I'm just a little bit in a playful mood right now. I'm sorry. King of Wands. Yeah, like we're all like setting the world on fire and like climate change or whatever. And the Empress. Okay. And this is kind of where it starts. Yeah, 2 of Wands. I feel like you kind of feel like you're... Right, I'm gonna say it. There's an ego story going on here with your spirituality. And it's kind of like this idea that this world is kind of in chaos and that nothing here is really good enough. And you're kind of just sitting back like, I know, I'm in these other planes of reality. When I die, it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna go to here and it's gonna be cool, haha. And I almost feel like you put yourself a bit above this earthly plane. Like you're above it. Like you're like, I don't really need to be here. I'm good. I already know all this other stuff. Yeah, Ace of Swords. And I feel like it's kind of, this is actually blocking you to see, this belief is blocking thought patterns. Because I'm getting with swords with air here. That could support you. These beliefs are not supporting you on this planet. Page of Cups. I'm gonna say it's upright. There might even be like this feminine or this love offer here. That's kind of what I'm getting from this Page of Cups. Or something that can fulfill you. I feel like there is something on this earth that could fulfill you, or that is fulfilling you, and you're like, this still isn't as good though. Like, it's a person or an activity or a thing. So we have the Six of Cups. And then we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So, with the Five of Pentacles, yeah, there's this idea that this story is going to play out here, where you're going to be grasping at something, or grasping if this is a love offer at this feminine, and they're going to be walking away from you. You're gonna lose it all. It's gonna feel awful, and you're like, well, why would I even engage with that when I can just be like, whatever? And then Six of Cups. With the Six of Cups, I'm getting this really scattered energy, like, or like fleeting, like, sometimes the earth feeds me something good. It's few and far between here. It's not really focusing. This is like a mama bird feeding their youngin. Okay. How can pile one clear these blockages? Like, I feel like the first step here is challenging the story that's going on. The King of Cups. Getting that's in reverse. Letting go of this lack story, right? Letting go that this earth is just crude and cruel, that everyone's awful, that no one's enlightened, or the people who are enlightened are not near me. Ten of Pentacles in reverse, that it's all just this big black hole like we saw in the beginning with that, how do you put them away? The Perspective Earth card. That doesn't really need to be that way. That's not the truth of the matter. I'm hearing your mind already say truth is relative. Y'all. I feel like that's really the first step here, is letting go of this ego story that's going on. Letting go of this belief that if you make close connections with people, that they're going to walk away and then you're going to be sad, so you might as well not engage with it. Or that you might as well not work towards what you want because you can just get what you want in other places. You incarnated here for a reason. A lot of people incarnated in this age to anchor in these energies that you're feeling into this reality, so we can change what's going on here. So we can do something different. Or even just live our lives the way that we need to live them and live by example. How can you anchor in the light attributes? Actually, we're getting like what sort of light work you want to be doing here on Earth. Ooh, I'm feeling some good happiness in my heart right now. Ooh, Knight of Swords. I feel like you kind of see yourself like fending off the darkness. You're like, I'm still good. I'm still fighting. I'm still having a good time. Been singing a lot today. Five of Wands. Oh my god. I feel like you. These are like your peeps. You're worshipping a mushroom, or you're playing like D&D, or like you're just like causing mischief or something with your friends. Like you're just like having a good time. It doesn't feel like anything that's like actually like harmful, but it feels kind of mischievous. And dancing like naked in the woods or something. Oh look, this came out, Five of Cups. So I think that kind of what I'm getting from this card, it's kind of like when there's a lot of change here. So I feel like you, because with the fives, right? So I feel like you, in this sort of like higher self version of you anchored here, when like things come your way, it's like they come with you, you process them and let them go. It's like you allow yourself to feel them, understand that that's part of the experience, and let them go. This is like spilled blood. So it feels serious. At the same time, I feel like you bring in that spiritual perspective and you're like, it's spilled milk. People die. People die every day. It doesn't like change the feelings of it. You're not invalidating anyone's experience by saying that. It's almost like it is what it is. Like, I accept that about this reality, right? That people die or people walk away from me. And then it's in everyone's highest greatest good. Feeling some anxiety, Ace of Wands. So I think that perhaps, and this wasn't coming up in the reading before, so I think that you may deal with anxiety, and I feel like maybe suppressing it at this moment, and in this version of you, you're feeling it and dealing with it. With the Ace of Wands, I feel like you have passionate ideas and you go for them. These are very dynamic energies going on here. Before, it was kind of like, it felt kind of, not heavy, but just like stagnant. And this feels very, like, all these cards feel so different to me energetically. Like, this feels a little mischievous, a community. This kind of feels like I allow myself to feel. And this feels like I have passions and I go for them. Like, I do what makes me happy and I say F off to everyone else. I'm getting a few more for you in terms of this. With the Page of Wands, so I feel like y'all, this is energy, you could be male, female, non-binary, whatever. Oh, God. I feel like you have a female that kind of matches this energy of, like, playfulness, maybe a little mischievousness, a little sexual energy going on here. Maybe y'all like to do a lot. And it's kind of just like, that's how we are, and that's how we have fun, and that's, like, what my thing about that makes this reality great. Knight of Wands. You're like the leader maybe in the relationship a bit, and she kind of likes that. You take charge and she likes that, and you like that. This is getting real sexual, y'all, too. This is like in your lives and sexuality with the Sun. I feel like you just do what you want. It's really what I feel. You just get naked when you want, ride on horses. Like, that's just how it feels. Like at sunset, and you're like, F off everyone who, like, I'm fine. This is literally fine. Maybe there's like a place you could do that and it's legal. And you're like, this is legal. I don't care if it's weird. This makes me really happy. Yeah, there's something here about darkness. There's something here about dealing with inner child stuff, and I feel like this really comes up a lot for you. I feel like you could have had a hard childhood, or you're just really sensitive with the world. And this is exactly what I was picking up on. When you kind of move through these emotions, it really opens you up to these other aspects of you. Like, when you accept that there's hurt and there's duality, and when you go through, like, yeah, this girl that I really liked, like, broke up with me, but I have a girl who fucks me even more, so, like, but you really feel the hurt from that, and you feel like, wow, that was awful, and I really hated that, and I cried for a whole year about it, and now I feel lighter. I learned something from that, and what I'm really feeling here is that when you move through this, if you decide to do so in this lifetime, you're gonna feel so light. That you're gonna feel like, it really just feels, again, like the Temple of Light energy. Like, you start anchoring that into the reality and doing what you want. Again, okay, I don't know if you know the artist Janelle Monáe. It almost kind of feels like that kind of vibe, where Janelle Monáe literally does whatever she wants. Like, bless Janelle Monáe, I love her. Listen to her album, like the first few songs of Dirty Computer. I feel like that is a good example of not like the activities you might be doing, but like the energy you would have of like, I'm wild, I'm free, I'm doing what I want. Do we have any closing out messages for pile number 1? Ooh. 7 of Wands. They're really, your whole team is really inviting you not to run away from the darkness, to find the light in it. To balance out this heavy energy with the light. To be that conduit of sorts. To be that balancer. The more you run away from this, the more it's going to stay the same. You could be experiencing in this reality what you're experiencing in meditation. What you're experiencing elsewhere. In other realities. Any more messages for pile number 1 before we go? Ooh. 8 of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you could kind of do what this mermaid thing is doing, where you could, like, take it with ease. Like, take these problems with ease. Be like, there's more than this, guys. Like, this drama that we're experiencing at school or at work, like, there's just so much more than this. Like, we don't need to be so focused on it. And right now I feel like that's kind of where you're at. It's like it's almost like you're, instead of like accepting that this is part of reality, you're rejecting it, and you're just like, whatever, like, I don't want to deal with it. It's part of the earthling experience, is dealing with the Lovers. I really feel like you are going to have relationships that are so sexual. I'm really jelly, honestly. That's just how it feels, but I also really feel like it's gonna be loving. Like, you're gonna have sexual relationships with people, and I just feel like you like it. Like, I feel like that's just a part of your experience, and you're like, why would I not? Like, this is just fun. Alright, I'm feeling 2 more. I don't know if I just said that, but we're just doing 2 more. Any closing out messages for pile number 1? Yeah, and I also feel like with the Lovers, like, you can have like really passionate love experiences. I feel like, again, that requires you, though, to kind of move through the heavier parts, right? But you're not going to be open to this love that you want until you move through that. The Queen of Wands in reverse, letting go of that narrative of that the world is awful and that humanity is doomed no matter what we do. And 1 more. 6 of Swords. And this is a perfect card, I feel like, to end on, because this is really you creating your reality here. It's almost just like exactly what you're doing, but in a different way. Like, this is like, I'm leaving the bullshit behind, but I'm doing so and also accepting that the bullshit is there. And that I'm okay with that. I'm still gonna do my own thing, regardless of what you think of me. I accept you're there, and I just choose to walk away. That's different than rejecting it and walking away. Wow. That's your reading pile number 1. That was intense. That was so great, though. I really hope that helped in some way. I really hope that, you know, this work takes a long time sometimes, as this reality goes, and I invite you to be gentle with yourself, to give yourself time. I love you, I honor you, I see you. Ways to support the channel are in the description box below. Subscribe and like if you liked this video, and I'm sending you so much love. See you in the next one. Bye! Hello, pile number 2. You are the people that chose this lovely stone. And that shows the Death card. What I love about this Death card is that it's not really bleak. It was like a cannon. It almost feels like the end of a war, but like the war has been over for a while. Like, so much so the grass has grown a little bit. There's still some scars from it, but there's also been a lot of healing. I'm seeing if that is what's happening with y'all. And Bob's just here. I don't even know if I said that in the beginning of the reading. He's just here. He's chilling. Okay, I hope you're all doing well. I'm sending you so much love, sending you so much light. Let's get into your reading. So, let's look at where you're at right now. Let's look at where you're at in your life, what you're feeling, what you're doing. We have the Strength in reverse. We have the Sun. Okay. Okay. This feels really mixed so far. Where is pile 2 at in their lives right now? What are they experiencing? The Emperor. These cards, like, this needs to come out. The Lovers in reverse. You're just feeling everything. You're just going through it all. How to experiencing right now. The Empress. This is actually in reverse. I picked it out. Upright was in reverse. Then the Magician. So, kind of what I'm picking up on here. I feel like you've done a good amount of work in your life and you feel light. I feel like you are spiritually awakened. I feel like you feel the different, like flavors life has to offer. I feel like you feel the good, you feel the bad. Kind of getting that with these multicoloredness things going on here. And the sunflowers. You feel the joy, you feel the darkness. I feel like you feel in a constant state of death, though. Like you're constantly letting things go, constantly. Like feeling the different energies of life, the duality. I feel like even more than that. You're like really going deep in. I feel like you just feel tired. I feel like you just feel like the opposite of this mountain right now. I feel like you're like, I've done so much work though. Like, can I not? I feel like that's how you feel. I think there's a part of you that doesn't feel, like I feel like you feel tired right now. And I think that you feel like maybe strained in your relationships and that as of right now, like you can't change where you're at. With the Emperor and the Magician, and with the Sun, I feel like you know though that like everything's gonna work out and that you're gonna be happy and fine. I just feel like right now in this very moment you don't feel fine. I feel like right now in this very moment you don't feel like this pen flip. Like it might feel like you don't get a lot of alone time right now. And these two cards, the Lovers and the Empress, there's like people alone, like under something outside. I almost feel like if you smoke, that when you smoke, maybe the only time that you're alone right now. I feel like you know things are gonna get better, but you're also confused. You're like, how does it get better though? Like, I know there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like you really see that. You just don't really know how to get there. You don't know how to grow something different right now. I feel like maybe you have planted seeds though, too. You're like, okay, like, are they gonna grow? How long is it gonna take? So, I just don't know if I'm repeating myself, but these readings are going to be a little unstructured with the terms of the decks that I use and the order that I use them. I feel really called to just kind of take it as I feel to take it. So we're going to go with these, and they're going to give us a little more information on where you're at right now. Where's pile 2 at in their lives right now? Sun. Wow, the sun again, painted back into your sky. Again with these different colors too. I almost feel like you see this world as like a bit dark, and you're like, I can paint the light. I can be that light. I can put that in that like that positive perspective. This feels very empty though at the same time. Like this energy just kind of feels like almost like vast. I don't know if you guys are just like in a really receptive state right now, and you're just really tired and you're like, I'm just here. Like I'm not really feeling that much. It's kind of what I'm feeling for you guys. It's like not very intense one way or the other. Morning, the world awaits you. Nostalgia. There's this like back and forth energy. I'm like, you feel good and you also just feel like ugh. There might have been some times in your life before that have been really good and you feel really joyful and you kind of hold on to that and you're like, life's gonna get back to that. I feel like that's how you want to wake up. Maybe that's how you woke up before. You were like, yeah, let's go. Right now you're kind of feeling like a little tired, like we're just kind of painting the good perspective in all this. You're treating your body like a palace it is. Yeah, I feel like you're in a mode of like self-care. I feel like you're in a place where you're kind of just focusing like right now. Like, how did I take care of myself in this very moment? Release your guilt. So yeah, I feel like something heavy happened or is happening and you're just like, I'm just going through it. It's like, it's just happening. I don't really feel like you're like entangling yourself in it a lot or like getting stuck in it. You're like, I'm just going through it. Like, it's just happening. And remember to practice self-love. What was I saying before? I feel like that's what you're doing. You're practicing self-love. You're really focusing on self-care, restorative practices. And then yeah, swim away from this situation. So there might be a situation that like that you've seen other people be a victim of, like have that victim mentality of, and you're kind of just like, I'm just going through it. Like it's fine. It's gonna be good. I don't know how I'm gonna get out of it, but I'm gonna get out of it. I feel like yawning, so you might be tired. It's getting a little late for me. But I all of a sudden feel so much more tired than I did before. Where else do I want to go with you? Let's do some love messages. Where's that one at right now? This doesn't really just have to be just for love. Passion. This came out in reverse. Yeah, I feel like you just don't have a lot of passion right now. You usually don't take these in reverse, but that's really what the energy that came up as when I did this. This doesn't feel like you have a lot in your system for passion. Your heart is not singing with joy. Yeah, past life relationship. I was kind of picking up on this before. This might be for some of you like either a past life situation or a past life relationship that turned toxic, a sort of karmic partner of sorts. Maybe you broke up, moving out, you know, kind of really in that thick of like the weird transition time that can happen when you're living together. Playfulness. I still feel like you're being playful though. You're like adding those moments in when you can. This feels very much like I'm just going. I'm just doing. Taking the good where it comes. There's just not a lot of it right now. Romantic feelings. You still could have romantic feelings for this person or romantic feelings for someone else. Religious factors in reverse. You might feel a little bit like the universe has kind of out to get you, and then soulmate in reverse. I'm so sorry. I'm like, okay. Yeah, this is really the story that's coming out, is that there's some sort of like karmic partner here, karmic situation. Turned south. You thought they were your soulmate, and they really weren't. It just turned toxic. I feel like in a way you might have known like, okay, spirit got involved in this and like broke it up too. But I'm a little mad at them. I like how I just ate a bunch of pizza. I'm so sorry. I thought that was gonna be much smaller than it was. You're like, I'm kind of mad at the universe though. I'm like, okay, thanks for putting me through this. Yeah, you don't feel very free. I feel like I'm flying through your reading, because it almost just feels very defeated, my pile of twos. It almost just feels like you're not feeling a lot. So what I kind of want to go to now then, I want to go tarot, and I want to ask them how you can kind of move through this phase, or what advice that your spirit team has, high aspirational angels, spirit guides, ancestors, information's in the highest state of resonance, like how you gotta move past this energy. Or for you, I'm kind of thinking a little bit more of your lifetime. It's kind of feel like what's coming through already. Because I even feel like I feel like you kind of know this right now. Like, I feel like you're in a situation that is gonna take time. Maybe you're like in a lease with this person that you just broke up with, and you're like, well, I'm here for like another like year. Like maybe you just signed the lease or whatever. Like, yeah, 2 swords. Okay. How can pile 2 kind of move through this energy? Just something different. I'm really feeling this is deep though. Like I'm feeling this in my stomach. 9 of Pentacles. How can pile 2 get more into this energy? Into a different energy. What do they want to be in? How can pile 2 kind of move through this energy? I'm really feeling like time. That is kind of what keeps coming through. Yeah, 9 of Cups in reverse. I'm feeling like a little bit of sabotaging energy here. I feel like this is something that you dealt with a lot in your past though. If it's not sabotage, it's just kind of like a pattern that you've dealt with in the past. Addiction's kind of coming through for some people. I feel like you are tempted to go back to it. I don't think it's like I don't think it's like gonna mess you up though or something. Like I don't think it's gonna be as bad as it was. Or it feels like it, like if you did go back to it as bad as it was. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like you definitely feel like a slave to something right now. I feel like you feel like your hard work did the opposite of pay off. I'm asking how you can move through the energy, and I feel like we're almost going back to it. This is the only card to me that's kind of indicating something different. I would just want to get more information before I go there. Alright, I don't know if the Knight of Cups... I'm getting that's up right. I feel like there might be some sort of... Ooh. Page of Swords. This heavy relationship energy coming in here. Heavy relationship messages. I almost see like there might have been some things you did with this person. I almost feel like you're doing them alone. And I feel like you feel good when you do them alone. I feel like it's kind of just also like a... Couldn't this person go in here? Alright, we're gonna go to the story that's shown up that I've kind of been... Use of Wands in reverse. Kind of been skirting around here. So I feel like eventually this is gonna be a choice for you to stay or leave in this energy. I don't think it's a choice right now, per se. Like, I feel like right now you're kind of just moving through it, right? You're moving through the energy that you're in right now. I think eventually you're gonna have the choice to go back into patterns that didn't make you feel very good, that maybe feel habitual, that make you feel good in the moment. It's really up to you though. Like, I feel like you kind of have the choice to extinguish your flame, to kind of go deeper into this. This feels like a little bit of devil energy, like corrupted devil energy, or kind of more on this Nine of Pentacles. Like, I feel like there are times where you feel good, and I think that your spirit team is asking you to focus on that a little bit more. How can pile 2 move through this? I'm feeling like a weight lifted off my chest a little bit now, so I feel like this is going to take time, and I feel like it will happen, and I feel like you know it's going to happen. It seems like the work for you right now is like not going back to these old patterns and really just taking yourself where you're at and seeing the good where you can. Hierophant, yeah, if you have like a routine or a tradition that makes you feel good and balanced, I feel like I would invite you to keep doing that, but that is kind of what... Hello. Come back. Come back! Hold on. Let's like... This is now your next card. It wasn't gonna be, but now it is. Oh my god! The Four of Wands. Well, you can really see it, at least. This could be you. This is the choice. The Four of Wands is usually... Pretty sure it's like the card of marriage, or the Four of Swords. But in this one, I really feel like if you want, you can be this grumpy person under the bridge that spooks everyone out of their happiness. And I don't feel like this is something that you want to do, or you want to intentionally do. It's almost like something that you feel like you could fall into, right? So eventually that's going to be your choice, that you can stay in this, or you can try to move through it as much as you can. Again with the Three of Swords coming up too. Making sure you can see all the cards here. So, okay, I feel like we've kind of been in this Hanged Man. Alright, so now the next part of this reading is going to be a little bit more about like anchoring in those light attributes. And I almost feel like for you, it might literally just be like, I had a cup of coffee today and it was great, and that was my moment. It's kind of what I'm feeling so far. I think again though, this whole situation with the Hanged Man is about changing your perspective on things and seeing those good moments in the hard ones. And the Pentacles in reverse. And then, you know, challenging these patterns that are like, I'm not good enough, I'm not stable enough. This really feels like stability and money. perhaps like there's this story that you become unstable, or that you feel unstable when things don't go your way in life, and that you're a victim of the circumstance. And I feel like you don't feel like a victim of your circumstance. I feel like you're past that. I feel like you have enough awareness to see past that. You're like, that's not how I feel. Okay, we're gonna get some Ocean Dream oracles and Starseed oracles here. Just gonna get both of them out on the table here. Alright, we're actually gonna start with the Ocean Dreams. That's how I'm feeling for you. Okay. Pile 2, anchoring that shit in. Pile 2, anchoring those light parts. Show me a bit about what their life, like highest self, could be like on this earth. I feel like you might be a big reader. Like reading a lot. I'm hearing nerd. Maybe you identify with like being nerdy. Inner sanctum. Ooh. This really feels like home. This kind of feels like, recently someone asked me, like I'm in a group and they were like, what does home mean to you? And I thought I knew the answer to that like very simply, and then I thought about it, I was like, do I really know what home feels like to me? This feels like home. This feels like that safety, that loveness, loving. My cat just came out and I'm talking about home. My cat is part of my home. Synchronicities at its finest. You're okay. It's a baby girl. Her and my other cat don't get along. The other cat's not in here. This is what I feel like, having that place that you feel good, that feels like home, safe. And I think that could have been how you felt in your past situation or your recent situation. And that really got compromised and it kind of took you off your feet. Yes, nurture yourself. Having that place of nurturing yourself, really taking care of yourself. I'm seeing yoga, I'm seeing meditation, I'm seeing energy work, breathing love into your space, manifestation. I'm seeing hiking or gardening. Those things make you feel good. Those activities make you feel good, basically. Seeing the bubble around this person too, so maybe some protection, with nurturing yourself, getting those energies. Hi, baby girl. Hi. I love you. We have move with ease. Yeah, I feel like when you have that stable foundation, perhaps you move easier with life. You move easier. Hello. You want attention? I'm doing a reading. I'm doing a reading. Yeah, I feel like when you have that stability, you can move more with ease. Like this, it's a whale. I think it's a whale. I think it's big and it's stable in the ocean. And the ocean's very like free moving. It's very like chaotic at times, always in motion. And I feel like you can move like very much through that with ease when you have that foundation. And perhaps this is kind of a lesson in how do you anchor that in different ways than my home, my partner. Like, what are the small ways I can do it? What are the moments I can take out of my day? The other card fell and baby girl's on it, so we're just not gonna go get it. We're not gonna disturb her. Alright, last one we have Atlantean Dream, the dream of a life. I feel like there's so much with this card. I'm feeling happiness, I'm feeling joy, I'm feeling like just there's this energy of like you being in a thoughtful place or a reflective place. And I almost feel like those would be just like constant areas you go in and out of. I feel like you're a very thoughtful person. I feel like you like to like really think about things in a deep way. You like to analyze things or to think about history or think about different theories. Take it if it resonates, leave if don't. general reading. I'm just feeling like in general, like you would be moving in and out of different energies, moving out of different goals, different paces in your life. I feel like you like that. I feel like you like having that stable base and then going out and doing like that route. What am I trying to say here? I feel like you like to do different things in a routine way, and you would be doing that routinely. You'd be doing the different things routinely. You know, maybe you'd be joyful with your friends, and you go home and you read, and maybe it could be extreme as you go to the library and like chill out for a while, then you go to a rock concert, and you're like, yeah, this is what I do. Water your garden. Yo, again with this self-care. There is so much self-care energy here. I feel like this is just really where you're at. There's a lot of like nurturing yourself here. A lot of being your own mother. A lot of taking care of yourself. I feel like working with the moon and inviting in moon energy might be good for you. Going into water, going next to trees, hugging trees, seeing animals, hanging out with Pokemon, like play a Pokemon game. Oh my gosh, if you want to. You're not alone. I think that you have connections, both spiritually and in the 3D, that may not be near you at the moment, or you feel like they're far away. I feel like you're still connected to them though, and I feel like when you're in your higher self's place here on earth that you would feel that, and you're like, yeah, we're still connected either way. Oh, we're getting two more, apparently. The blue flame. Ooh. I feel like when you get activations, you would act on them. This literally looks like a vagina. Can we be real? This looks like a vagina. Or else do I just not know what vaginas look like? Am I just like having this picture in my head? But this is what vaginas look like and it's not. Yeah, I feel like you would awaken the blue flame within you, the passion within you, and you would just go for it and do it, and you wouldn't think twice. You would be intentional about it, but you know that you would do it. Like, you would plan it out, but you would do it. That's how it's coming through. And then big picture thinking. I feel like you are a big picture thinking person. You think about the whole, you think about the steps, you think about how to get there. Like step A, step B, step C, step D. And you do it, you go, and it's fun for you. You activate different portals by going through the process, by thinking logically about things. It just feels like you're not even able to be there right now because of your circumstance. Like, you're not even able to, like, plan things or things out logically. You're like, I'm just so tired. Thinking? What is thinking? Force, don't follow. Again, with this sort of advice to go through this with ease. This is your practice of going through life with ease right now. Pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. Alright, I want to get some advice for you from your spirit team, and then we're going to close out the reading. Any advice for our pile number 2s here on how to get closer to this? Any closing out thoughts? The sun, seeing those bright spots. Didn't we getting the sun before? Isn't this like how we started this reading? There's so much sun. There's so much sun. See the sun, see the brightness. Invite that into your life in whatever way that means to you, Will. Queen of Wands, yeah, I feel like embodying this energy of like, this is me, this is where I'm at. And I feel like for you, this, like, what I think what would help you right now is this isn't like an all or nothing. This isn't, I feel happy and I don't, or I'm in this like Queen of Wands energy where I'm going through it or I don't. This is like, how can I bring a little bit of this into it? What makes me feel this way? And, or what like a little action can I take? So we're gonna take the story of you and your partner like living together, right? And it's not going well. What is an empowering move that you can take? Is it they were fighting with me and I just walked away. They were fighting with me and I just left. And then I went to go dance at a club. And I felt good. That was my choice. I'm an adult. I can do what I want. That's kind of how it is. Oh my gosh. Literally taking charge of your life. I think with this, I think your closing out advice really is that to do what you feel like you need to do in order to take care of yourself. To not think about other people's opinions in terms of what you need to do right now. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Or you're going to fall down this hole of like these negative patterns. When you take action and like ownership of your life and your choices right now, it's gonna feel more like 10 of Pentacles. Small steps, my friend, small steps. It's not all or nothing. You do the planning that you do. 5 of Wands in reverse. Not getting lost in that like conflict, not constantly going back to it or engaging with it, just walking away. Not getting trapped in those you know, cycles that didn't serve you in the past. King of Wands. Just do it, y'all. I just don't feel like I need to talk about that. And justice. And you're gonna get the justice you deserve when you act on it. I feel like you setting boundaries and going after what you want is going to create closer to the reality that you want right now. This feels very stern. This feels like, this is where I'm at and this is what I'm doing. You can take it or you can leave it. Alright, pile 2. That's where I'm going to leave it for today. Thank you so much for being here. I am sending so much love your way. This is a little bit of intense reading, so I hope it was helpful in some way. Ways to support me and connect are in the description box below. And I'm blanking what else I say. Like and subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, sending you so much love. Bye! Hi, pile 3. You chose this. I don't know what this is, I'm not gonna lie to you. A blue stick of crystals and the Hangman. And this Hanged Man is interesting. It feels like this polar bear is a little bit alone in the sea. It doesn't feel like completely lost though, because it's like there's mountain and northern lights. Almost like seeing the goodness in the chaos or something. We'll see if that relates to your reading. Okay. My cat is like literally using the bathroom. I don't know if you can hear it. Oh my god, baby girl. Where do I want to start with you? We're gonna start with this. So I'm really feeling with this that the tiles and the way that this reading is going to be structured is going to be not structured. Not like I used this deck, I asked this question. I'm really feeling like just kind of going with the energy with these. Alright, where's pile 3? Oh my gosh, at right now. High Priestess. In your intuition. Feeling like it might be a little chaotic because of how those cards are when I was picking up with those. The Tower. Yeah, I think you're going through a little bit of a time right now in your life. It almost feels like routine. Like it almost feels like, okay, another Tower moment. Cool. Yeah, like this is like kind of just where you're at. Like you're like, I'm in a little hut. This happens to me constantly. My world just falls apart. I feel like your intuition is trying to guide you through this right now. Because you kind of see with both of these this like tent thing going on. And I think that you're trying to look outside of it. Like your situation. It's almost like this is what you see as what's happening. And I think your intuition is kind of guiding you into a different space. I think I'll be able to explain that better as things go on. Alright, where's pile 3, 2, 1? Where's pile 3 at right now? The Catacombs. So this is a card made specifically for this deck, and it's about ancestors. So I kind of want to get some clarification on that, but I want to get another thing first. So where pile 3 is at right now, the Magician. Interesting. And the Star. So I think right now you're kind of in this place. I almost feel like you... Take this as it resonates in your situation, okay? Generally, I think that there's this pattern that you or your family and your ancestor line has kind of gone through, and you're like, I'm gonna get out of this. Like, this is not for me. Just could be like a situation, like if, you know, all your moms got into abusive relationships with men or something, or, you know, all your family's in lack mentality and constantly, you know, manifesting lack of income, or, you know, having chances of bringing in more abundance and rejecting it. I feel like you're like, I don't need to be in this tower energy all the time. Like, things just don't need to constantly be rocky. For some of you, it's relationships. Kind of what I'm feeling. I feel like you just know there's a different thing out there. You're like, I've already seen that this doesn't need to be my life. Other people's lives aren't this way. With the Star in reverse, I feel like you see that. Like, you're like, there's better things for me out there. So I kind of want to get love messages for you now, then. First thing that came out was heart-to-heart conversations. I feel like you're having really heart-to-heart conversations with yourself about your life. I feel like, you know, you've been asking yourself some tough questions, like, do I want to stay where I'm at right now? Is this really where I want to be? It's safe to love. I want to be in a place that it feels safe to me and feels good to me. I want to feel in a place that is more engaging, that, you know, where there's love and there's light and there's happiness. I feel like you want kind of like a soulmate-y energy here. I feel like you want like a new love-y energy that's like passionate and nice and good and warm. Okay. I'm gonna get some tarot to see a little bit more about where you're at. Like a full tarot deck and not just the major arcana. And then we're gonna ask how you can move away from this energy, and then like attributes, and then done. Alright, where's pile 3 at right now? And they're live. This is multiple. 8 of Wands. I feel like there could just be like a bunch of stuff coming at you and you're like, la 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 la, this is normal, this is natural for me. This isn't news. Like, this person or thing has been trying to get to me for a while. Queen of Pentacles. I feel like it's still like destabilizing though. Like, I still feel like this, like, it doesn't feel good that this is coming at you. I feel like you're used to it, but it doesn't feel good. You're like, okay, I'm here. It's happening again. Yeah, 8 of Pentacles. I feel like your stability feels far away from you. You're looking up at it. I feel like it doesn't feel like it is accessible to you at the moment. This person's like happy though. I feel like, again, like, you know, you're like, I can get there. I can climb the tree. I don't know how to climb yet, but I'll climb it. Feels so close that you can taste it almost. Like, that person can just reach up and get it. Where's pile 3 at right now in their lives? Lovers in reverse. Like, that speaks for itself for a little bit. 3 of Wands in reverse. Lack of energy. Lack of sexual energy. Would apply to both of these, to be honest. Yeah. 5 of Cups in reverse. There might have, I'm feeling like some conflict has happened. Maybe this is like conflict in your family. This could be like family drama or something, or like toxic family patterns. Is what I'm getting here. Yeah, Queen of Cups. I feel like this could be a feminine figure, a motherly figure, grandmotherly figure that feels kind of toxic. Or just a feminine in general that doesn't feel great. It almost feels manipulative. One more. There's whoa. Well, two more apparently. We saw they flew out. Yeah, I think with the Knight of Cups, like, you just don't feel like there's like a change right now that can happen. You're like, this is just where it's at. We're good. We're going, folks. We're okay. And then Four of Cups. You're still longing for that though. Even though you're used to where you're at, you're longing for something different. So I'm actually feeling like doing things a little bit differently with your group. I want to kind of go into your light attributes and light work and what that would look like for you, because I feel like having that place to go might be good. I don't know, that's just what's coming through, is to do that first. So we're going to start with the Ocean Dreams Oracle. Actually, no, I lied. We're going to start with the Starseeds. Okay. What does, pile 3, like higher self, higher life look like? I'm already feeling like it's away from the situation, right? I don't feel like the situation's going away though. Like this feels like, again, something that might be constantly happening in your life. It just might be a difference of how you react to it and how you engage with it and how much you're in it. The Void. Stop, embrace winter. I feel like when this stuff happens, you're just like, I'm outie. I'm just gonna do my own thing. Yeah, I feel like when it happens, you're like, that's the season I'm in, right? Whatever this is, I'm not really getting... I could explore what this is, but I feel like it's gonna be different for each of you. I'm really feeling it's like, whatever event that's reoccurring or whatever thing that's happening, it's relational, like constant relationship drama or trauma. It feels like an activated trauma response again and again and again. Whereas an act or just something that hurts you again and again and again. But I feel like when you are in that or it is happening, your higher self will be like, hey, that's just what's happening right now. Like that's the season that we're in. Whale and Orca Elders. What were we just talking about, my ancestors? I feel like you're... Ooh. Let me tap into this. This feels like multiple things. This feels like practicing joy and being enveloped in it. Diving deep into it. Like... And like kind of accepting this is where it's at, and then like I'm happy. I'm doing other things. Like this, my whole life. There's so much more than this, and I love it. I engage with the things that make me feel happy and good. I feel like some of you don't know where that is yet, but that's just how your higher self would come. You know, they've kind of figured that out. They've gone through that process. And I feel like with the ancestors, I feel like you might have a strong connection with them. Perhaps you do rituals that honor them. Star bathing. Yes, I feel like, again, like bathing in that goodness. Maybe spiritual practices, you know, starseed energy, light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. I feel like those things that make you feel activated and great and like anchoring in that light, you know, that's what you would focus on and go towards. Be more piles 3s. I'm gonna get more here. We the Hathors. Deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. So this is kind of like, I'm feeling like a stabilization of that toxic feminine energy that we were talking about before. With that mother or grandmother, or just feminine. I feel like you balance that within yourself, so you don't repeat that pattern. That's what this feels like to me. It's like, it's almost like your ancestors then smile on you. You're like, yes, we knew you could do it. we've been trying for so long in multiple lifetimes, and you did it. At the bottom of the deck, we have Earth School. Life lessons, soul growth, and higher learning. I feel like you could kind of see this is all for a higher purpose, and that, again, it is how you engage with the events that happen in your life, any event that happens in your life, and not how is it's happening to you. How is it happening for you? What is it doing? What is it putting into your life that you're learning? 444 just came up too on the clock, so let's get a little bit of the ocean here. Even though this feels very oceany already. A lot of like swimming away. A lot of like diving deep into other planes of existence or just different energies in life. Give me more of what this would look like for pile 3. The source. Yes, really connecting with you. And if you're spiritual, you know, connecting with source energy, God energy, and just like putting it with other people too, like having so much and feeling so good that you give it to other people. Two more. And then we're gonna go into how you can kind of anchor this in. These are like not coming apart. Temple of Light. Yes. This energy feels so good. Feeling that, breathing it in, anchoring it in. Ooh, being that light for yourself and other people. And then Atlantean Dream, making your dreams a reality. This feels very dreamy to me. I don't know if you give yourself a lot of time to dream right now. It's almost like, there's other things here. Do you know what those other things are? Have you been dreaming about them? That's kind of what I feel like is like what, like, Spirit is gonna talk a little bit about. Because I'm feeling like for you there could be confusion around it. Like, you know there's more, but you don't know what that more is. So what is advice from your spirit team, higher self, angels, all that is in the highest vibration, highest resonance, and the good for all, the highest good of all souls involved? What is the advice for pile 3? You're fucked. That's the advice. No, I'm kidding. Oh. What's the advice for pile 3? Death in reverse. I think the first part of this, right, is not resisting when you are getting out of this cycle, because it might draw you back in and you want to go back into it. So I think the first piece of advice is to not be drawn back in. Strength, yeah. Having the strength to pull back and take care of yourself, to do something different. That's the first step in this. Advice for pile 3. King of Wands, having the strength to do so, having the will, I don't want to say willpower, but like determination. Like the King of Wands, like, I'm setting this boundary and this is how it's going to be. This is just how it's going to be. If I don't really care how you feel about this, this is what I need to do for myself. So it's kind of like that hard boundary setting is how that feels to me. 10 of Pentacles, then focusing on what makes you feel good. What makes you feel stable. I feel like you might have like a job that you like and makes you feel stable. Thanks for pile 3. 6 of Cups. I feel like again with this kind of mothering part here, I really like how this, maybe having a child or being a mother might be really helpful for you. Or having that motherly energy towards yourself and others if you don't want to have children or that doesn't resonate. Like inviting that motherly energy in that's like healed, right? Chariot in reverse. Getting away from it. Again, getting away from the conflict. I feel like when you move away, this really might come at you, like hard, to draw you back in. It's again, like, how do I make myself feel good? How do I make myself feel good? I feel like that's that part that Spirit is like really asking or telling us about right now. It's the beginning step. 2 of Wands. I feel like being witchy or doing spiritual practices might feel good to you. I feel like what Spirit is inviting you to do right now is pull away and think about what makes you feel good right now and to focus on that. Yes, 9 of Wands. That's what's going to help you feel like you're not imprisoned by this. That's the first step. They're not really giving me much after that, and I feel like what I'm feeling with the Ace of Cups is that you'll know what to do after that. I feel like that is when your path like really takes off and feels great. Is when you move through this and you're like, ooh, there's a whole world to explore. And then you start Yo, hey Pile 3, this is literally me like days later because the camera died and I'm editing your video right now. But just wanted to say thank you for being here. All the ways to connect with me are down in the description box below. I love you, I see you, I hear you. What am I saying? I don't know, I'm still coming up with it, guys. But I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Fuck. Okay, we'll edit that out.